Hi everybody, I'm Britt Savage for WooFDriver News, coming to you live, bringing you all the fun dog news stories. And today I was a little late, sorry about that, but I have a co-host today. So it took a little bit longer because I had to chase the co-host around. Would you like to say something, Nicole? Would you? Maybe you'd like a little treat. Look at this little girl. Look at her. This is Nicole Ritchie. She was given to me by my friend Kim after one of our chickens passed away. Oops, that's a little bit of a bite. And she's a very sweet chicken. And she's molting. They kind of lose their feathers certain times and they grow them all back. But she's a good little girl. Look at her. I love her black eyes. They're so pretty. I don't know if you can see. But she's a pretty girl. She's about 2 years old. And she's not only molting, losing some of her feathers, but she's doing something else called going broody. And what that means is, although there's no roosters at my house, she would really like to have some chicks. So she's been kind of sitting on some eggs, even though they're not eggs that would hatch into a chicken. If you're under 10 years old, you may have to ask your parents about that. But she's a good little girl, and she has another friend, and I wasn't calling her Nicole. She's Karen. She has a friend called Nicole who's outside having a good time. But her name is Karen Carpenter, and she was named after Karen Carpenter, not by me. But she's a good little girl. I don't know how long she's going to hang out. What would you like? Would you like a little more bread? Oh, maybe you would like a little bit of a banana. Mm-hmm. No? She's just looking at it. She likes all types of things. Probably her favorite is worms, mealworms. Look at this. Oh, Karen Carpenter. Why do chickens suddenly appear? She's a good girl. Well, let's get to the news. We had a couple of requests to see my little chicken, and I'm going to bring in the other one of these days, but let's get right to the news. There's a lot of fun stories out there. Okay, this is crazy. Have you seen the zombie dog? Now, you know zombies are all going crazy. Everybody's talking about zombies and the Walking Dead and everything like that. Well, here's a story for you. The police department in Merrimack, New Hampshire posted this photo. I've got to show you this photo, although I have to say, my printing of the photo isn't much worse than the actual photo that they're putting out there because you really can't see anything. It's kind of like something running. Look at that. I don't know. Okay. They posted a photo on their Facebook page this week, and some people are calling it a zombie dog. The message from the site reads, "This was seen on Babusick Lake Road near the upper elementary school this morning. It's most likely a coyote, and since the animal isn't menacing or vicious, we've been advised by Fish and Game to leave it alone as the pups are now moving about on their own." I didn't even see any pups. Some folks have other ideas on what the zombie dog is, ranging from the legendary chupacabra, that's the Latin American mythical beast who kills goats, to a sick fox, a skinny lion, a hyena, and even a tiny moose. To me, it looked kind of like a moose, but still others suspect that this is some kind of a hoax, but I don't think so, because Lieutenant Matthew Charleston told the Boston Globe, "To be honest, it looks like something out of a horror movie. I don't know what it is. It's definitely unique looking." He's been assigned to find this zombie dog, but you've been told that if you find the zombie dog first, do not try to get it. Don't try picking it up on your own or bringing it in or playing with it, because we still don't know what it is, and leave it to the professionals. So just call the cops and they'll come and try to get it. This next story is it's kind of like, I spent a lot of time in New York. I was born in New Jersey, and a lot of times people think New Yorkers are tough and all that, but listen to this one. Garrett Quinones, 52, was driving his limo across the Brooklyn Bridge on his way to pick up a customer when he saw a little dog run underneath a moving car. Wow. "I was so surprised that I pulled the car over," Quinones told ABC News. "I just couldn't believe it, that in the middle of a roadway there'd be this little dog. I was thinking, Wow, this dog looks like Toto from The Wizard of Oz, a red-haired version. An adorable little dog. I knew he needed help and I felt compelled to do it. Quick thinking Quinones used the cord from his phone, like the charger. Oh, it's so great. And he caught the dog with other Good Samaritan who was running around the bridge. Quinones brought the dog into his limo and got him some fresh water. And he called 911 and asked if anyone was missing a dog or anything like that from the Brooklyn Bridge. And he brought him to a police station, actually the 19th precinct in Manhattan. And they were able to check, and yes, he was microchipped. So that was great, and they were able to find his owners. Quinones said, "I'm so happy. He's such a nice little dog." Isn't that a cute story? I love that. What do you think, Karen? What are your thoughts on that story? Do you think if you were running on the Brooklyn Bridge, somebody would get you? I hope so. I hope they wouldn't make soup. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't have said that. You're a good little girl. Good little girl. Look at that. Is she pretty or what? Okay. Here's a story with a happy ending. Kale chips. Now, something about this story is going to tell you that Kale chips was probably not the name of the dog originally, but Kale chips weighed 86 pounds. I got to show you this picture. Oh my goodness. You're not going to believe it. Ay, ay, ay. Look at this. What do you think? What do you think of this? Definitely not eating chicken feed. Here we go. Let's show the people. Can you see that? Will it even fit on the screen? Oh my goodness. Kale chips. Who weighed 86 pounds when he was transferred from the Chicago Animal Care and Control to one tail at a time early last year. He had been surrendered because his previous owner began losing their memory and could no longer take care of him. He was seriously obese and couldn't even stand on his own legs. Oh, that's awful. Kale Chips was placed with a foster family, and with the help of a sling to lift him and a strict diet, he was able to start moving around and finally start exercising. Today, he's a healthy 44-pound dog, and as you probably could have guessed, his foster family fell in love with him, and so now Kale Chips has a forever family, which happens a lot, so you better watch when you foster him. It's hard to spend much time around an animal who needs a home without wanting to take him in. Dr. Drew Sullivan from the Medical District Vet Clinic said most dogs he sees are overweight. Besides a lack of mobility, other complications can be osteoarthritis, ACL tears, heart disease, and diabetes. He mentioned a few tips to tell whether your dog is obese, because sometimes it's hard to tell. What he says to do is feel on the side of your dog. You should be able to feel ribs, not see a ribs on the dog, but be able to kind of feel under the skin and feel the ribs. And as it goes up, you should be able to see just the last couple ribs you should be able to feel. Also, when you look above your dog, it should have a waistline. So it's kind of big, then it gets to a waistline. Now, certainly, they're all different types of dogs, different kinds of breeds. So I'd say talk to your vet, but that's a good guideline. Probably most dogs that you're feeding at home are probably not too skinny, but that's one of the first things that should bring you to a vet is a change in eating habits. They're getting too fat, drinking too much water, getting too skinny, so make sure you just look out for their weight. Let me see what some of these things. People, oh, look at this. People are liking the video. That is so nice. Love this. What do you think? Would you like to look a little closer? No? Little chicken, little chicken. Bok, 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 bok. Bok, 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 bok. Bok, 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 bok. Oh, she's a good girl. My sister Kathy and her fiance got 3 chicks, little chicks, I think probably around Easter time when I was a real little kid. And I happened to take them in. I had mainly just the 3 roosters and brought them up, and they were just like little friends. I loved them. I guess I didn't know enough about chickens to know that a lot of times people don't think they're friendly, but they really are. Not all chickens, but look at her. Come on. Oh, good girl. Oh, okay. Here's one. I'm going to have to show you a picture on this one. Well, I'm going to wait. Oh, wait a second. Here's Kale Chips now. Look at this. It's like one of those Oprah Winfrey before and after, or The Biggest Loser or something. But it's a whole different dog. And they said even the attitude was different. The dog was kind of grumpy. And then after it lost all the weight and just got to move around, it just felt a lot better. I want to make sure you get these pictures. This is pretty great. Pretty weird though. Lake, a 6-month-old Weimaraner from Oklahoma City, found herself in a sticky situation. She got into the trash and found a half-empty bottle of Gorilla Glue. Oh boy. Owner Crystal Williams explained she didn't think anything of it until later that night when Lake started vomiting. After Googling what happens when you swallow super glue with no luck, she called Dr. Leonardo Baez of Midtown Vets. I want to show you a picture of Lake. Oh, look at this. This is little Lake. So cute. No, it doesn't look all that happy there. Actually, it's a girl. Wait a second. Okay, here I go. I could feel a mass about the size of a grapefruit, Baez said. Lake needed surgery as soon as possible. Obviously, Wilson was scared. We are freaking out, she said. The surgery took almost 2 hours, and what Baez ended up pulling out of Lake's stomach looked like something from a horror film. Oh my goodness, let me show you this thing. Yeah, the vet says, the description's even creepier. We were able to extract a perfect mold of her stomach, Baez said. Inside the mold, there were bits of bottle and grass. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, it's so creepy. I'm going to give her a little snack. Oh, I might say, would you want me to have some? Oh boy, no, definitely not. Oh, it's a good girl. That's a good girl. That's a good little girlie. Oh. Look at that. As you probably know, dogs can get into so many things, and a lot of times we're just not watching it, and we have to be so careful because if you're from another country, Gorilla Glue might not be popular there, but it's that really sticky stuff, kind of like they call it crazy glue. I'm sure every country's got their own version of it, but it really can, if you ever try to glue something with that stuff and get it on your fingers, it is really sticky. And the other thing, they've been using it for surgery instead of sutures. So they also said, although I didn't taste any, that it has a sweet taste that animals like. So you have to be really careful with that. Also medicines, cleaning supplies, anything around. Really almost worse than a kid, because child-proofing your house, a kid's probably not going to be able to climb into a garbage can, but a dog or cat might be able to. So you have to be really careful and make sure you take things right out to the trash and all that. But that's just something that you really have to know. And if you're in doubt, because you never know what they got into, just get them to the vet as soon as possible and try to think of anything they could have gotten into. I think that's your best bet. But the vet said that Lake got back to his normal, playful self in a matter of hours. Well, that is good. That's really excellent. Let me see some of these things. Oh, love this. That is so nice. I love that. Well, thank you so much for checking in. I've been enjoying, have you seen any of the other shows? They're so great. We have Carol Anderson, we have Carol Grace Anderson and Dean Miller, and oh, we just have so many things. Barbara with Animal Secrets, and it's just something going on. Last night, I thought I would tune in, and I saw the WooFDriver. It was crazy. First of all, it's late at night. He's doing one of those, I don't know what those green cameras are where you can see in the dark, and he's taking those dogs on a run in a park, and then he gets pulled over by I guess like sort of like a guard, a policeman. It was pretty great. You got to watch that. He was pretty cool about it, but it was imagine you're patrolling someplace and all of a sudden you see these huskies and another dog running down with somebody, you know, calling out the commands. It must have been something he's probably telling everybody in his life, like, you can't believe what happened to me last night. So that was definitely pretty cool. But there's so much going on, and there's so much that we're enjoying seeing what you're doing, and all the requests that we're getting for different programming here and different things to do, and what you're doing with your dogs and posting photos, and it's just been really fun. It's been great to be a part of this, and I hope you'll continue share and also tell everybody about us, because we're just trying to bring you the most fun stuff to do with your dogs and really with all your animals. But make sure sometime soon that you go to allwoof.com, because there you're going to find a little bit of everything, and I know you'll find something on there that's just going to amuse you or teach you or anything like that. But I've had a hard time not watching every single thing that I'm seeing, because everybody's got so much knowledge and they're all dog lovers, and it just feels like we're all in this little dog woof gang together, and I really like. Pamela, thank you so much. Ricardo says hi. Pamela says, I love watching you all. Oh, that makes me so happy. And then we have, WooFDriver said, what is a silk chicken? Well, there's something called Silkies, and that's a breed. I've never had them, but if you look at Silkies on the internet, like on Google, they're unbelievable. These chickens look like they're wearing some high fashion off the Paris runway, like this big fluffy hat and long feathers, and oh, it's just, they're a beautiful chicken, but they're a little bit smaller, and sometimes some chickens are fighting each other, and sometimes when you have the Silkies, they do better with other ones because they don't see that well, because almost like some breeds of dogs where their eyes are covered, they're unable to really get away, and sometimes they become like low on the pecking order. So when I was getting chickens, I was looking for just kind of standard basic chickens, and this one's called an Australorp. And excuse me, they're really good in warm weather, and we have a lot of it where I live. And they lay a lot of eggs, and they have nice temperament, so that was kind of what I was looking for. There's all different types of breeds and all different personalities. There's, you wouldn't believe, there's like something called a naked neck. She's a little naked on her neck, but there are ones that completely naked. They almost look like a turkey, and fluffy ones and big tall ones and all colorful ones, all different colors. She lays kind of like a light brown egg, and she lays an egg when she's feeling like it almost every day. Right now, being she's as I said, brooding, she thinks she's laying on, she's going to be hatching some chickens, although there is no rooster. She's not laying any more eggs because she thinks she's having some chicks. But when she's normally just hanging out, she lays an egg almost every day. So I would say most people with this breed of chicken in this age, at 2 years old, probably would be looking at about 4 or 5 eggs a week. And they're just a happy little chicken. They have, you wouldn't think, I have the 2 hens, completely different personalities. You just wouldn't think. I mean, it's just a tiny bird. What kind of a personality could they have? But they have it. Oh, I've seen them and they're gorgeous. I love animals. I do too. I just, I was a shy little kid, and animals were so important to me to just have around, and I don't know, I would have been lost without my pets. I don't know. I would have been so lost. So yeah, it was just great to have them around, and I'm so glad they're a big part of your life. I know that's why you're here, because they really are. But I'm going to be going now, and what do you think? You want to have a little bit more food and say goodbye? Goodbye, goodbye. Oh, that's a good girl. That's a good little girl. Well, I hope you've enjoyed us. You have something to say? I hope you have enjoyed us. And thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm sure we'll see you soon. There's a lot of other stories I didn't get to, and I can't wait. I'll come back on Wednesday. So please come back and just have a really great couple days. Let me just see. Thanks for sharing. Oh, that's so nice. I used to be afraid of chickens. Do you know what? I get it. You know, sometimes when people say they used to be afraid of an animal, I get it, because they're all a little bit different. And there's been a lot of things done saying that there's a belief that the chicken actually kind of came from a dinosaur, like a pterodactyl, and there is something about them that is, they walk funny, they shake their heads and look funny, and I can see how they're scary. And also, if you try to pick them up and they're not ready to be picked up, their nails are really long, and they can scratch you, you know, even if they're not trying to be mean. And then there are, you know, some chickens that are just mean, you know, for whatever reason, probably just protecting their flock. And so I understand that, but you just have to be careful of, you know, if you have kids, I wouldn't put chicken really close to your face, just because, like most birds, they see something shiny and they might bite, so that could be your teeth or braces or your eyes, so you just have to be careful. But she's pretty. She's a good girl. Used to be afraid of chickens. Thanks for sharing. Oh, I've seen them. They're gorgeous. I love animals. It's so nice to hear from you guys. Well, I'm going to go, and I hope you have a beautiful day, and we'll see you again on WooFDriver. What? She said goodbye.